The Washington Post reports President Trump asked two of the country's top intelligence officials to help him push back on the FBI investigation into possible coordination between his campaign and the Russian government. He reportedly made the request to Daniel Coats, Director of National Intelligence, and Michael S. Rogers, Director of the National Security Agency. Both men refused to comply with the request. Washington Post reporter Adam Entous is part of the team that broke this story, and he joins me now by phone. Adam, we've known about President Trump's appeal to James Comey to drop the FBI investigation into Michael Flynn, but now you and your team are learning about additional requests from the president to other U.S. officials. What have you discovered?
Yeah, so what we learned is that after Comey testified to Congress that the FBI was investigating possible coordination between the Russians and Trump's campaign, that President Trump appealed to two senior intelligence officials, one of them the Director of National Intelligence, Daniel Coats, the other the Director of the National Security Agency, Admiral Michael Rogers, to urge them to push back against this FBI investigation into possible coordination by basically going public and saying that they see no evidence of collusion.
And what was their reaction to the requests?
They were disturbed that the president would ask them to make such a public statement, in part because there's an ongoing FBI investigation, and so they turned down this request. They did not make that public statement that the president was seeking.
And remind us, Adam, to be clear, these are not Democrats. These were lifelong Republicans who were appointed.
These were President Trump's appointees to the roles at the NSA. The NSA director, though, was serving under Obama previously, and he carried over, into the Trump administration. In the case of Coats, yes, he was a nominee appointed by Trump. But I think one needs to look, especially with the case of Admiral Rogers. Here, you're dealing with an intelligence professional, former, longtime military officer, obviously. Who was put in an unusual position of having the president, ask him to weigh in on this FBI investigation.
And Adam, how was this information documented? How did you find out about this?
Well, officials told us about these requests, which occurred towards the end of March. Obviously, there's a lot of information that's now coming out since Comey was fired by Trump, and there have been a lot of new details that have emerged since then about how President Trump and others in the administration dealt with the FBI investigation, and particularly with Comey.
And I understand there was documentation with an internal memo written by a senior NSA official, which outlined the president's conversation with Admiral Rogers. Is that right?
Right. So much like when Comey took notes and prepared memos after his conversations with Trump, there's at least one memo that we know of, which was prepared after Admiral Rogers, spoke to President Trump, in which the president made this request. So there is documentation that could be handed over to either the FBI or congressional investigators or both if they decide to go and try to look more closely at what happened here.
And Adam, just taking a step back, I know you are obviously having conversations with people in the intelligence community. What is the feeling among officials in the intelligence community right now amid all these disclosures?
I mean, I think there's a mixed feeling among intelligence officials. Obviously, by profession, they are anathema. They see leaks like this as bad generally for what they do. But at the same time, I think there's the sense that they would like the public to be aware of the kind of pressure that they're being put under, which they see as inappropriate or compromising of what they see as the nonpartisan nature of the intelligence work that they do. And so, when Comey is being asked, according to his associates, to pledge his loyalty to Trump, for people who are from Comey's world of law enforcement, that's an egregious violation of the separations that are supposed to exist between the president and the FBI director. In this case, the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, the NSA, They want to not be seen as carrying the water, for the president or, frankly, for anybody else in an ongoing FBI investigation. That's just something that is, again, at odds with the traditions of those services.
All right, remarkable reporting. Washington Post reporter Adam Entous, thanks very much for your time, Adam.
Thank you.